Yo, how are you? Namaste. That means hello. Hello. Oh, it's a great time, isn't it? Um, I've been watching so many podcasts. I guess I'm catching up with them with my clarity mind, which I didn't have much of before because I was in some kind of relapse with different on and off the hard drugs and then the pharmaceutical drugs. And I've been downtown speaking to the drug. I'm very active when I'm not on drugs. I'm extremely activated, and yeah, I guess I'm just playing catch up in many ways. I mean, I've been going back for today, example. Uh, I'm going, well, people might say, well, why don't you read books? Well, I do sometimes, but actually, I'm much more fascinated with what's going on with the modern era of this kind of something coming from within all of the programs, and then Google, Facebook, and the control of kind of information, the flow of information. I'm fascinated by it. So today I've been going back to Joe Rogan's first ever podcast. It's so interesting. And then I was watching other ones from his early days. He was a little bit more controversial then, and I think he's great. He's very wise, and I'll tell you the truth. What happened is, um, I used to watch it years ago, and then at some point there was some confusion about the fact that he didn't believe in the moon landings, and then he was saying, "Well, fuck you, I do believe in the moon landings," something like that. That's my memory of it. Maybe I've heard him trying to explain it also recently. I've kind of been going back in there and thinking, well, why do I think that? Why did I stop listening to him? Because what he's very good at is being very articulate, um, having a very he has a very good people skills, and he has a very good emotional intelligence. This much is clear to anyone who has a good emotional intelligence. He's very good with his people skills, and that is because he has a very good emotional intelligence. Now, I'm always looking for the similarities, not the differences, in everyone. I'm thinking, well, what about me is like that, for example, and it might not be someone who I necessarily like, because people who I really piss me off, I still try and think, well, what's the similarities here? Why, you know? So I don't know. I guess I'm a kind of a deep thinker on these things, and I'm trying to work it out. I'm just trying to make it like so that I understand how to, because I've been watching some great ones, the law of attraction, how it all gets fucked up with the modern shit, and then people just don't really, like nowadays, what's happening? There's all this identity politics, and there's the right opinion and the wrong opinion, and then everyone's like, oh, let's have the right opinion over here with the liberals, and like, oh, you're all right wing, and then in the middle somewhere, there's just this huge confusion where the actual facts are, where the truth is, and of course, for me, it's about the knowledge. If you have a base in knowledge, in facts, whether it's statistics, numbers, well, where they come from, research, actually, that's what's being shit all over at the moment with all this identity politics. It's all being polarised, divide and conquer, and actually what we're losing in the middle is the truth. Of course there's a truth there in the middle. So whether it's the hippies over there in the left, like, oh, fuck you, I'm so enlightened, I don't need to look at the facts because I'll just be so fucking identified over here with what's right. That's a big problem. And then on, the right, over there on the left for some reason, then, of course, national identity is gone extremely crazy, and they become very racist, and slavery and suppression of people and gays and everything else. So there's always two sides to every argument, and we're losing those. We're actually losing them because people are like, oh, fucking hating Trump. And meanwhile, well, what's the alternative? Is it Joe Biden? Is that who it is? Oh, Obama. You see, I was in this great, I've still got the t-shirt on 2 days later because I've been in bed, that's why. And I don't know, what am I trying to explain here? Yes, sometimes I don't always wash my clothes every single day, but I quite like this t-shirt because he's green. And he's Republican, I don't know, with his kind of Confederate hat on. So, yeah, I'll do all my histories, man. I'll look at the history of what happened with the 13 states and the British and fucking, I want to know. It's all very relevant to me because I've always been fascinated by American politics. American politics, I would say, I follow it before I follow my own British politics. And then I'm here in Norway, Scandinavia, and that's all fascinating indeed, because we kind of look up to them, don't we? Like, oh, they're so liberal, how amazing, what an amazing thing. And oh God, don't start me off, please. Alex, stop starting yourself off, Alex. But the main thing is today I feel happy. And some days this shit, I can wake up with it. One day I left a little comment because I'm still waking up. I'm always getting to know myself. I mean, I'm approaching my 40s now, and it's great because I'm still like a kid. I'm still fucking learning like what an adult means, what it means to be adult, what it means to take a little bit of responsibility for yourself in your life and your outlook. Whether anyone listens to you or not, that's not the point. It's not trying to, and that, oh God, I could go off in so many different directions of all of this, and that's why I need a little bit of focus with these. I need to have a little bit of a topic, like Joe Rogan does, or, some kind of bigger picture, kind of, this is what we're talking about now, and okay, hang on a minute, no, that's what we were talking about, let's kind of go back to because it's easy to kind of detract, isn't it? And then you watch someone like Alex Jones, the right-wing conspiracy theorist, in all his glory, and I'm afraid he's just a bit like me. He'll go off on all these tangents everywhere, and everyone's just lost. I mean, even me. I mean, I'll follow him, but then I'm thinking, hang on a minute, no one else is going to be able to follow here, Alex Jones, because you're just kind of getting lost in a lot of kind of, well, maybe this, maybe that, maybe, that's why Joe Rogan is very good, because what he does is he always comes back to the base of the topic in hand, one thing at a time. Let's slow it all down a little bit, because human beings, they can't wait to run off and be correct. They can't wait. Oh, yes. Well, this. That's what Alex Jones, I mean, he's got a lot of good intention. I'm sure he's coming from a very good place. I don't care if you think I'm a right-wing conspiracy theorist. That's what I know from emotional intelligence. Watching body language, watching him, what he's trying to do, and he's just a human being. We're all children, actually, when you look at it. We're all learning how to be adults. And I think it's very important not to just kind of make someone wrong just because he might have said something stupid, and then, all of a sudden he's sending child porn, and he hasn't really, but of course then it's all up in the fucking MSBCO, whatever the fuck it's called, the CNN people, and all over Google, then the demonetizing video, well, they're banning him from YouTube because of something that he, you see, what Joe Rogan's very good at is he's very good at broaching these subjects from an impartial place, whereas Alex Jones, he just doesn't have the emotional intelligence. He's got a lot of intelligence, but in terms of the connected, grounded, emotional, spiritual intelligence, he's a little bit ahead of himself, unfortunately. And so he might have, when he was asking questions about the shootings and the mass shootings, what he's done is he's actually, because he was getting so many people, which there are many thousands of them, but there's many millions of people in the world, Alex, so you have to kind of balance it out a little bit. But many people were asking, well, is this real? I mean, we've had 9/11. Well, what do you think about that? Maybe that was real or not. I don't know who caused this 9/11. Was it really? Oh, well, hang on a minute. Why can't we read these documents about Saudi Arabia? Why are they being kept secret? Why are they all getting redacted? Is there really freedom of information? Oh, really? Well, let's have a look at it then. I love the fact that Joe Rogan, he doesn't have to kind of state his opinion. I'm not saying 9/11 was an inside job, although I'm afraid, God, you see, this is very interesting, isn't it? Because you better watch out, because you'll just ostracize yourself and get called a right-wing conspiracy theorist when you're not. You're just a little bit intelligent with the emotions and with the human behaviour, with the psychology, where all of this has come from. Why it's all suddenly being rubbished, why you've got all these young people going to university being taught to just kind of progress. And you see, I'm in the heartland of the progressive, and then we go to look at the new architecture that's getting so much press here in Oslo. And I know a little bit about architecture. One of my best friends in primary school went off to become a very successful architect in America, and I followed him. And I know a little bit about what architecture is, and it's an art form, actually. We've had different periods. We've had the kind of, we've had all these different periods, and then and then, I mean, where is all this progress? I mean, I obviously, well, it's hard to say, well, I don't agree with progress, first of all. That's a ridiculous thing, isn't it? So, this whole word itself, progressive, is something very interesting for us to look into. Well, why are we progressing towards her? What is it that we're actually trying to achieve? No one would say they disagree with progress. Obviously, we want to progress as a society, as a species, in whichever direction is best. Surely that's what we all want, isn't it? So let's start on something that we can agree on. But then, when you see this progressive architecture, it's crap, I'm afraid. It's like, what the fuck is that trying to say to me? Because if you see it, I mean, my God, it's right there on the waterfront, and we're like, uh-oh, there's nothing there. It's just like progress for the sake of progressing. It's just like, well, I'm sorry, but there's not much actually there. Like, well, what does that make me feel? I mean, why is that looking like that? What's it trying to say? What is the progress? What is the statement within the kind of broader context of all the architecture that's gone before and what might come in the future? And then what they've got is this little island in the middle of the fucking little sea there, where they've built this kind of, oh God, I should have taken a photo of it. I'm just staring at it thinking, my goodness, this is what progression has taken us towards. Endless kind of progress. That's where it's going. And basically it's a bunch of scaffolding in jagged shapes that's like not going up in a straight line. It's falling over, which, fair enough, very nice idea, yes, lovely. But then it's just essentially a building that is, I mean, it makes you think actually of something like 9/11, the kind of destruction of a tower. And but I'm sure that's not there. Actually, that's my perception. Now, for whatever reason, that's what I perceived. But you'd have to see it yourself and think what you think, because it's not actually anything to do with 9/11. It's just like some kind of structure with all these odd angles, and it doesn't really mean anything. And then it's covered in glass and jagged edges, and like, well, hang on a minute. What is it about? Why? This whole progressive politics. I mean, then you look at someone like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's an idiot, I'm afraid. I've watched many videos. I want to understand this woman. Why is everyone listening to her all of a sudden? There's nothing there. It's just an empty fucking book. I mean, she's just a fucking idiot. She's talking about fucking racist cauliflowers and fucking, we shouldn't grow those cauliflowers because it's something to do with white people and, the dominance of the whites, and it's not even from here. It's not even an American vegetable. It's from Europe. And don't you see what the fuck's going on for her little university-educated mind? Hang on a minute. This is reality here. People do eat fucking cauliflowers, whether you fucking like it or not. It's got nothing to do with racism, for fuck's sake. I mean, be a little bit realistic here, you fucking idiot. I mean, this is just one example. She's an idiot, believe you me. I've done a lot of research on her. She's an idiot. She's a fucking idiot. It's a communism. It is communism. Watch out for the communism. You want to fucking point at Russia? Actually, Putin, I mean, he's inherited a very fucked up situation. And believe you me, yes, he is killing journalists occasionally, and yes, he is a fucked up guy. But he's nowhere near as bad as some of the people that went before him. And, you have to look at it in terms of this. If you want to talk about progressive, what do you think? There's just some sort of magic gold and silver bullet that's just going to fucking, oh yes, let's elect Ocasio-Cortez and she's going to tax all the rich. Do you really think that's what's going to happen? Do you really think she's going to get it through? Look at Trump. He's got some ideas, but he can't get them all through, can he? He's not the most powerful man. He might be the most powerful man in America in terms of politics, but it's not so simple. You've got Washington, D.C. with all the little fucking bureaucrats, and it's never so simple. It's like the European Union. It sounds great, doesn't it? Yes, let's make one Europe. We don't want any more world wars. Thank you very much, Germany. So, well, let's do something a bit more positive together. Of course, people are not stupid. They want that. They want peace. People want peace. They don't want all this shit going on. But you see, it gets manipulated. If you just give innocence, innocence will get us all killed, I'm afraid. And like, this is the real world. There are always two opposing forces at work: darkness and light, and they meet. And you see, where they meet is where the discourse has to happen. That is what diplomacy is all about. You have to be diplomatic, and you have to take responsibility for these things. It's no good just, now I'm sure I've lost a lot of friends. It's great. Sorry, it's not great, but it is what it is. It's a reality. So you have to accept the reality for what it is, and you have to think, well, what's my part in it? Am I okay with it? Yes, well, I am. I'm okay with losing friends if suddenly it's because I don't necessarily fit into their little box of what's right about being a passive kind of renunciation expert and doing the yoga and everything else. They don't even know what real yoga is. I happen to do know. It's not that I'm a fucking advanced fucking yogi, but I do know some of them. And you also, maybe. And it's all there. Science has gone mad, I'm afraid. And the people who are running these agendas, they know very well how the innocent little human there, without any kind of understanding of what the fuck's going on over here, they know how they will react, or they have a very good idea statistically. They know the numbers. That's the game that's being played. It's not just, you can't just, oh yes, well, I'm going to have my little utopian dream over here. Where is it? Where does it exist? Oh, it exists there, so that's what you got to do. You got to bribe them and do this. I was playing that game for years, so I know very well how it all works. Believe you me, with the bribery and corruption and everything else. I've been there paying fucking bribes and everything else. I've been to the prison twice in foreign country. I know, and it's not. It is not what you think. You're just a tourist. You're just a fucking tourist. You're a commodity to a big machine, and then you think you're so free from the machine and you're just selling out to it. You've got no fucking opinion whatsoever. I'm sorry, but fuck off, people. Idiots. They'll take the moral high ground. They've got no fucking idea. They're just fucking sellouts. World's full of them. 99%. Talk about fucking 1% and the 99%. Well, first of all, if you are part of the 99%, then get a fucking grip of the reality then. Because you don't have it, I'm afraid. You're just a fucking sellout, washout, little fear-based mammal. Oh, I'll imitate him over there, yes. What are you doing? Let's be a bit more like you. And you think you're a counterculturalist. You identify with that, even though you take no fucking responsibility whatsoever for it. And I'm sorry, but what am I trying to say? I'm not trying to say anything. This is just what I love to talk about. And, you could probably pick holes in me, which I do with people who I love. Look at Joe Rogan. I've picked many holes in him, sometimes wrongly, but absolutely sometimes I'm questioning. I want to talk. I want to say, well, hang on, and I don't have that many moments, but there's been moments where I've been watching all these long-form podcasts where I was thinking, I wish I could be there now to say one thing that they really need to hear. And that fascinates me because I'm not there. So, of course, for me to even have that little thought, then it must be important to me. And I'm always assessing myself. I'm always like, I don't know, it's become fascinating to me because I've just taken that for granted. But it's because of my schooling. It's because of my upbringing. I was very, very... I had very, very many. I was very rebellious, but I was also very good in some ways. I did finish school, unbelievably. When I look back on it, it's amazing. Compared to all the shit I put up with at school, and I still finished school. I might have failed some of my exams, but I got very good grades for some of them also. In fact, sorry, let's get this right. I took music outside of lessons because they were determined I wouldn't do music. So I did it outside of lessons. I went and spoke to the music teacher. And then I went home and said, well, I'm allowed to do music, but I've got to do it in my own time. So I'm going to do it. What do you think? And they said, well, okay. It's all about being in the right place at the right time. And just you need to work on your maths and your computer programming. You don't need the music. You can do piano lessons in your own time. No. Anyway. What did I get? A B for music. And that's the best grade I got out of all of it. And of course, there's loads of factors involved. But the other good grade that I got was a C for theatre studies, which was in lessons. And I studied theatre and I got a C. and I got D's and E's, which are not, I mean, I passed, but they're not, the way, I don't know if it's the same what country you're in, but in English education system, you have to have a C, a B, or an A star in order for that qualification to mean anything. D is still a pass, E is still a pass, A, B, C, D, E, F, I guess, is a fail, I guess. Yes, I think so. That's how we mark these exams that we take when we're 16 years old. So, of course, that was a big pivotal moment of my life, because I just thought, looking back on it, it's fascinating, because I remember I did have a lot of fear about the results. That was the first time I'd been scared. Before that, I was just kind of like, I don't know. Actually, what happened is I went into the written exams and I'd done all of my coursework. God knows how, but I had done it. And I don't know, I've kind of given myself a lot of shit over the years about all this. And it's not till I really evaluate it now as a kind of, I've had this head injury. I'm a different person. I'm the same person, but I've grown up. And thank God it's about the time. And so I'm looking at all of this with a kind of very rational, very open mind. And all of these things that I might have just dismissed as pointless in the beginning, and I would have made myself a victim in some sense of my circumstances. Well, now I'm not. Now I'm saying, well, where is the good person in all of this? What's to be taken out of this in a good way? Well, I'd never quite looked at it like that before, because I sort of, well, fuck the education system, there, motherfuckers. Look how much they've let me down. They told me I was a fucking dyslexic, and now I'm not. I'm fucking good with the words, thank you very much. I won't fucking be labelled as a dyslexic. I might not be able to spell very well, but so fucking what? That'll be my greatest strength of all, and I'll fucking go into all this this is the code, and I'm a time traveller. Whatever it might be. I have to look at what's affected my formative formation of mind, of outlook, of output. I must understand, first of all, the base. Like a fucking rod, set right in the ground. The knowledge is unmovable. It doesn't matter who you are. Where is it? A bit fucked up, isn't he? Got some new teeth there. I had my teeth because I lost one tooth. So what they did is, I did a lot of research first of all, don't you worry. And I got all my root canals, which I did have out, and any metal, I had it out, all at the same time. And these are porcelain caps, like a bridge, and it goes over the old teeth which they've ground down. And some of the dentists, I had different opinions, don't you worry about that. I was very, very interested, because fuck with your teeth, you fuck with your whole fucking life. So I had to get it, right at the same time. I don't. The video stopped. Fascinating. Well, anyway, what was I going to say? They're porcelain, and they're not root canaled, which the dentist want me to root canal them first. I was like, fuck you, I'm not root canaling my front teeth. Thank you very much. Thank you for locking my video, Apple, Google, whoever the fuck you are. I'm such a conspiracy theorist. It must be a conspiracy. Namaste. Love you.